Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we get to go over the 2018 Heartland Fuel 305 toy hauler. I personally absolutely love this floor plan because it gives you a massive garage and you can easily convert that into a great living space, which makes this not just great for people that have big toys like your side-by-side or motorcycles, but it's also great for people that just have big families and want to bring a lot of stuff like kayaks, bikes, and other large items with them camping. We'll actually start off right back here in the garage. As you see, I kind of have it converted into more of a living space. But folks, this is a 16-foot garage, which is super impressive. You'll see right back here, you have your power sofa, the double rollover sofas here. So both of these do roll over into a queen bed. And you can store these in either orientation, either flat against the wall, maximizing your height, or you can put them flat across underneath the bed, raise them both up, which will maximize your width. But during the day, you can drop these down. You'll see it makes a great living space. You can sit right back here and be able to have a meal or play games back here. And you'll also see that you have the, obviously the tailgate that drops down right there, so you have a great breeze that's coming through. Now, I did a couple different things here. These can roll completely up and out of the way, obviously, so that way you can pull, your toys or whatever else you need to in here. But you have a couple options on here as well. On the inside, you have the privacy screen. You can roll that up and out of the way. And on the outside, you will have a piece of vinyl. So that way it'll let light in, but not let the breeze in. So, if it's raining outside, you can drop that down. Otherwise, you can roll up the one on the inside and outside, have the screens open there, be able to have a great breeze coming in without any bugs coming in. There's also a zipper in the center, so if you want to unzip it, be able to walk out the tailgate, you can do that as well. And again, the zippers on the sides to be able to roll it all the way up. This queen bed right here does lift up to the ceiling as well. So again, when you're pulling your toys in, this is all the way up. You can have this all the way up on top, lock it in place, and still drop these down. That way when you're sitting here, this isn't going to be down on your head. For people that are sleeping up here, you'll notice you have electrical outlets up on the ceiling, which is cool. So if you need to plug in any electronics, it's easy to do that. AC vents back here as well. That's an important thing to note, folks. A lot of times when you have a toy hauler with a separate garage, it can get pretty hot back here. Because the garage is all part of the main living portion here, they ducted the AC right in there, stays nice and cool. Plus you have a vent up top with a fan just to help recirculate that air. You'll also notice the table right here. This is a fold-away table, so you can fold it up, take it away if you want, put it outside, or leave it right here again so that we have a nice big table to sit at for meals, play games, whatever. You'll also see there's another table I have tucked away right under here. There are legs for that as well. That will actually go right up here in front of the sofa, so that way you can have a couple different tables in here, again, allowing you to really entertain a lot of guests, be able to hang out and maximize the space. Take a look over to the side. You have a window here to let in some natural light. You have an exhaust vent right here. The other one is in the opposite corner. So that way, as you are driving things in and out, you can open those up and make sure you get the exhaust out of here. In this slide, as I mentioned, you do have the sofa. This is a jackknife style sofa, so that does drop down into a bed too if you needed to. And again, as I mentioned, you can set up the table there. But I love that it is directly across from your two swivel recliners right here. This really, again, kind of gives you another space to be able to sit and hang out besides in the back. It just gives you a little more of a residential feel. Something again, that is often lacking in a toy hauler. So I definitely appreciate that. Kind of going along this side here, obviously you have your entrance right into the rear portion here, right in your main living area. You'll also notice right along the back underneath here, you have some coat hooks. So you come in, hang up your jackets, your sweatshirts, whatever. Directly above that is your multimedia center here. That one is a DVD player too, which is pretty cool. It controls the speakers in here as well as outside. It's also Bluetooth capable. Right up above that, you'll notice that they kind of broke up the doors a little bit. Rather than just have wood all the way through, they kind of gave it this frosted glass, which is neat. Open that up, and then you'll see inside that you have some decent storage behind that. Moving over to the side, storage all along here. Again, they put decorative glass in the center, so it's not just wood overload in here. You can see you have good storage there. You also have a kind of a shelf going across the top, so if you want to put like some helmets or something up there, maybe just decorations, you can do that as well. Directly underneath, you have an LED light here as well as an electrical outlet. So this is for, who's ever sitting here in the chair. You can plug in a cell phone right there. Who's ever in this chair will have another one tucked away right over here. So a couple different outlets. Big window right here to let in a lot of natural light as well, which is great. Over to the side here, you can see this one is wired for solar. You also have your thermostat right here. This will control both your AC as well as your furnace. Your power bed, your Happi-Jac system in the back. This is a sweet feature too. This one has a 12-volt fan, so you can turn this on. And if you take a look up on the ceiling, you can see right there that it just runs off the 12-volt, which is pretty great. So again, that will help recirculate the air here throughout the camper. Lastly, a couple other things on this side. Right here, I talked about the electrical outlet. Right over to this side is your fuse box. If you need to get your breakers or fuses, that is where they are located. And then right over here is your Dometic fridge freezer combo. You can see that you have plenty of space there. A couple of baskets here down below as well for your veggies, fruits, things like that. Then you have a cutout there for some of your taller items. Right up top here, they didn't waste any space. You can see that they gave you extra storage there, which is great. And then your TV is located over here to the side. So this is cool, again, because it kind of, no matter where you're at in the coach, you're able to see it, whether you're at the sofa, all the way in the back, sitting here in the swivel rockers, you're still able to see the TV. So I like the placement here, how it's up and nice and high. This is the restroom. We'll look at that in just a moment there. But first, I actually want to move over to the slide out in the kitchen. So we talked about the sofa, as the fact you have the window here, the LED light right here up top. If we take a look across the top here, though, again, you have storage, decorative glass right there in the center. Electrical outlet right over here. So this is kind of double use for anyone that's sitting here in the sofa, or you can use it for here in the kitchen. You have another one in the kitchen right over here, but a lot of times it is nice just to have a couple different electrical outlets. You have pretty countertops in here. Nice big single bowl sink, stainless steel. You can take a look at that right there. I like having a single bowl sink a lot of times because I cook with a lot of residential pots and pans, and you can actually set them down in the sink, whereas a lot of times the split bowls just aren't quite big enough. The sink top cover, you can flip this over and use it as a cutting board if you want. Again, I always recommend using the bottom. That way the top stays nice and pretty here. Otherwise you can leave this on there, and this does give you a lot of extra prep space. And then you have the high-rise stylish faucet there too. If we drop down below and take a look at some of the storage, you have two drawers here. The one does have a built-in flatware holder there. Another drawer right underneath that. Over to this side, you have big storage here. You can probably fit a trash can in there if you want. You might want to fit some pots and pans in there as well. I guess it kind of gives you a couple different options based upon what your needs are. Right underneath, you'll see you have some good storage there. Again, great spot for pots and pans. Directly up above that is your oven. Drop that down for you. So if you want to do some baking, that'll be the place to do it. And then on top of that, you have your 3-burner cooktop with the glass top. So that way you can utilize this as prep space as well. And as you saw, this just folds back up and out of the way. Up across the top, you have your stainless steel hood as well as your microwave. The hood does have a light and fan. Cool thing about that, folks, this light is an LED light. So even if you have that on, it's not going to be a huge drain on your battery. And then you have storage going all the way across the top here. Another cool little thing, if you take a look at the top of the slide there in the header, you just see it, it says fuel in there. Just, kind of one of those cool little accent pieces. Same thing with this right here. It kind of has almost like a chrome look running through the center. It just helps break up, your classical wood look. Then coming over right over here, folks, the last thing I want to point out is the fact you have a beautiful pantry in here, so plenty of space for your food items. As we step into the bathroom here, there are 2 entrances and exits. This one right behind me leads into the main living area we saw there outside the kitchen. The other one into the master bedroom. Right down here is your foot flush lever toilet. As you can see, plenty of leg room. Also, I'm pretty wide in the shoulders, and I have plenty of shoulder room too. Up behind that, you have to love this, folks. Take a look at that. An absolutely massive linen closet there, so plenty of room for all of your towels, washcloths, all your other bathroom goodies that you need to toss in there. Take a look up at the ceiling. You will see that you have a vent fan there. Obviously, your AC ducts are in here as well in case it's a hot day. A couple LED lights. Then over to the side here, you do have a skylight for some additional light during the day. The neo-angle shower, the doors are on a roller track, which is really cool because that way when you're done showering, all the water goes right down into the shower pan. A couple of shelves and a hand wand in there, and clearly you have plenty of headroom. Right over here, you do get the small mirrored medicine cabinet. It's not huge, but again, with a huge linen closet, you don't need a ton right here, at least enough to be able to see yourself. You have the electrical outlet right underneath that in case you need to plug anything in. Your sink top, not a huge sink, but again, you know, you don't need a ton, just enough to be able to get in here, wash your hands, which you can do. Same thing with brushing your teeth. The countertop does kind of go behind this door. If you can take a look, it's kind of tricky. But big size countertop over here for some extra items. You do have a little bit of storage underneath there too. So, you know, it is tucked behind the door, but at least, again, they did maximize that space. Then underneath the sink here, again, great storage, excellent spot to put some of your extra toilet paper, your black tank chemicals, and other things like that. When we step into the master bedroom, one of the first things you will notice is the massive bed in here. You have this awesome king bed, so that way you're not elbowing each other in the middle of the night. Plenty of space there. And it also has some added storage underneath. So if you have some bigger items, maybe you want to throw some bedding underneath there, you can easily do that. On both sides of the bed, you will notice that you have mirrored wardrobe space there. You can see the hanging rod, so if you have clothes you need to hang up, it's perfect. You also have a drawer underneath, and then electrical outlet down underneath that. So if you need to plug in cell phones, or more importantly, like a CPAP machine, you have a place to do that. Across the top here, you have a shelf that's built in. If you notice right in the center, you have, or over to the side rather, you have your gen set there. This one does have a generator, so that way you can start it right here from bed. And then in the center there, you will see that you have dual USB ports. So if you need to plug in some cell phones, you can just have them right up there on the shelf. You have a couple LED reading lights as well. And then going across the top, you see you have storage all the way across there. So again, you have some folded clothes you want to put in there, you can do that. Vent fan up top on the ceiling. Right over here, you will see that you have a spot to put a TV. So if you want a TV in the bedroom, there's a backer in the wall, you know exactly where to mount it. Connections for that are up top. And then right over here, you have a secondary entrance. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features of the 2018 Fuel 305. Starting off right up front here, folks, you have your electric power jack. This makes it super simple to hook up this big travel trailer here. You simply flip the switch, that will raise or lower the tongue. Then you have a light at night in case you need some extra visibility. Directly behind that, you have your two 30-pound propane tanks with a cover. To get into that cover, you simply undo the two thumb screws, lift up the door, and that will give you access. And then behind that a little bit further, you will see you have rails for your battery. The rail system there is large enough that if you want two batteries, you can have two installed. Coming up the front here is black diamond plating, helps protect your front end from some of the rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. Then on the very front, you kind of have the kind of like the three-quarter cap, or like a pseudo cap, I like to call it, because it doesn't roll all the way over to the side, but it does give it a great aesthetic piece. It really makes it pop, look great. You'll also see you have a couple LED lights that are inlaid there as well. And then coming around to the side is your front storage. You will see that it does have a covered hinge, so you don't have a bunch of rust coming down the door. It's also slam latch, and it's magnetic, so that way you can put it up there just like so. Super easy. You don't have any clips or anything that are going to break. If we drop down and take a look at the front storage area here, you will notice that it is fairly large. And over to this side right here is also a battery disconnect. So that way if you want to kill all power to the RV, all you have to do is just flip that, and then it's good to go. You don't have that constant drain. This was the secondary entrance that we saw. This one leads into the bedroom. 3 foldable steps here. Grab handle just to give you a little extra control when entering or exiting the RV. And then right down here, you'll see that this one also has power stabilizers. So that front one there, the 2 front ones are right there. That's what this one will control. There'll be another one in the back to control the 2 rear ones. Bear in mind, folks, that is not auto level. You already want to have it leveled out with some leveling blocks. That is purely to stabilize the coach so it's not wobbling when you're walking around inside. You'll notice a big power awning on here. Touch the button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go back in. Has an LED light strip underneath there so you have light at night, as well as 2 speakers there too. And those are controlled by that multimedia center inside I showed you, but it's Bluetooth capable. So if you want to sit out here underneath your awning and rock out, you can certainly do that. Just connect to it with your phone via Bluetooth. Right here is a black tank flush. This is another great feature to have. So rather than taking a hose and sticking it down your toilet when you're done camping, all you have to do is take the hose, screw it in right there. That black tank has sprayers built in. It'll help wash out any solids out of that bottom of your black tank. I probably recommend running that about 10 minutes or so after you dump it. And again, it's a sweet feature. As far as TV, you have a bracket already out here, so we can bring a TV out here, drop it right there. You'll see you have your cable outlet as well as an electrical outlet here, so you're able to plug that in. And again, that is directly underneath the awning where you want it. Bear in mind, the electrical outlet can obviously be used for anything else too. So if you want to set up a table out here with an electric griddle and cook up some pancakes in the morning, you can do that as well. If you plan on doing boondocking, you want to utilize this right here. That will fill your fresh water tank. So, you know, if you don't want to be out there without water, fill that guy up. You are good to go. Make sure you use a potable hose, folks. You don't want to use a regular old garden hose filling up your tanks. Right back here is your main entrance. You'll again see the 3 foldable steps just like we had up front. This one, however, does have the larger foldable grab handle because chances are you'll be using this one a lot more often. And that helps give you the control from right back here all the way into the RV and when you're coming back out. Now, folks, this one is good for extended season camping. It does have a fully enclosed and heated underbelly. So if you're running that furnace, it'll force air down into the underbelly, helping prevent your lines and tanks from freezing up on you. So even if you're camping late into the fall, early into the spring, you should be all set. Right back here is that other control for the stabilizer jacks. As I mentioned, this will control the 2 rear ones. As you can see, I have the ramp down. Right there, folks, are your big screens, as I mentioned in the back. They're kind of like a canvas-like material, so they do wash up really easy, which is good. Because, you know, as you can see, they are a tiny bit dirty just because they're white. But I love the fact they're white because it helps reflect heat. So, you know, that way if you open it up, you have the screens going. It helps that heat bounce off. It's not like it's going to be a furnace there in the back. If you take a look up top, you will see you have a couple LED lights right there on the back. Also, you have your backup camera prep. It's a pretty big travel trailer, folks. If you want that backup camera, it's probably not a bad idea. Having the prep makes it a lot easier to install, meaning it'll also save you money on labor. Right here is your ladder. This one just kind of folds up and next to the RV. I currently have it folded down like so. This allows you to climb up onto the fully walkable roof, whether you want to get up there for a higher vantage point at like a NASCAR race, or if you just want to get up there for your basic maintenance every year. The ladder makes life a lot easier for you, so you don't have to bring one with you. Right here is your fuel pump station with the control right next door. You also have the fuel gauge there. Up a little bit further, of course, is where you will fill the fuel tank. And then here are your cable as well as your satellite inlets, and then your 30 amp detachable power cord plugs in right there. Right here on the slide itself is where your city water connection is located, and then you also have a spray port. So if you need some water access outside, that'll be your place to get it. If we move up a little bit further here, in the very front, the reason we don't have the pass-through is because we have the generator up here. Again, covered hinge. This is slam latch and magnetic. We open that up, and that'll reveal your Cummins Onin 4,000 watt Jenny. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2018 Heartland Fuel 305. If you're interested in this toy hauler and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.